What is going on, everybody? It's the France. We're back again for an NXT review for September 5th, 2018. It is the next day, of course. And I just got done watching NXT, and I've got to say, what a main event. What a way to end NXT. And it tells the story of Johnny Gargano again. Cannot get out of his own head. He lets things get to him, and it utterly cost him another match on NXT. This match, the main event for the night show, was an NXT TakeOver worthy show match. It got NXT TakeOver worthy time. It got about 20 minutes, so these guys put on a great match, and in the end, Johnny Gargano cost himself another match by losing this match because he let the anger of Tommaso Ciampa consume him again. He's still got the thoughts of Tommaso Ciampa in his head because he failed at NXT TakeOver New Orleans. He failed at, not New Orleans, he failed at TakeOver Chicago and TakeOver Brooklyn 4. So he is again getting inside his own head. Another thing about tonight's show is we did have the continuation of the Alister Black investigation. I don't expect to see any resolution. It would not surprise me if on the last set of the last episode of these tapings, which will be in 2 weeks, we would have William Regal tell whoever that he has the culprit and he's going to name it next week. So we get that for the next set of tapings. A big match has been named for 2 weeks from yesterday. It is going to be Pete Dunne versus Ricochet, champion versus champion. The North American and UK championships will be on the line. Honestly, that's going to just lead to a breakdown in the match, and both guys' championships are going nowhere. If there would have been a dual champion crowned at these last set of tapings, you would have heard it already on NXT taping. They would have, like, during the tapings, there would have been breaking news, new North American or new UK champion. So you know somebody from either Undisputed Era or somebody else is going to get involved in that match. And we will not have a dual champion. We will have both championships staying as they were. And I'm telling you now, Bobby Fish is probably going to be back in time for War Games. He is set to be returning with November and December. So I have a feeling he'll be back in time for War Games. And we will have the Undisputed Era of Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and Adam Cole versus the War Raiders, Ricochet, and Pete Dunne in War Games. I do not want to see British Strong Style versus Undisputed Era versus Ricochet and War Raiders. No. Give me the 4v4 or 5v5 matches that we used back in WCW. A one-time to introduce it as the War Games was fine because you had the Authors of Pain, you had Sanity, and you had the Undisputed Era of a three-man group, and you just added Roderick Strong into that match with the Authors of Pain. It made sense last year. Do not force it this year. Give me Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Adam Cole versus the War Raiders, Ricochet, and Pete Dunne. That's what I'm looking at right now. Like I said, that's going to be in 2 weeks. It should be a great match, but of course, like I said, it's not going to have a clean finish. Somebody is going to get involved. Also, we had, for the first time in it, like forever, we actually had somebody come out for NXT who was a champion outside of the tag team titles, because the tag team titles seem to get the rematch clause invoked all the time. A solo title, aka Women's Championship, actually had the former champion invoke her rematch clause. We don't know when it's going to happen. Could it be at Evolution? Could it be before that? Who knows? We will have to wait and see. But Kairi Sane was in action this week. She did take on a jobber. It was a quick finish match. One of the other big talking points of this show, finally, after months of not being used on NXT TV, the Forgotten Sons of Steve Cutler, Wesley Blake, and Jackson Ryker made their debut on NXT television. Finally. Of course, before they renamed him Jackson Ryker, Gunner, Jackson Ryker, aka Gunner, was known as Chad Laley, I think that's his actual name, on the NXT house show circuit. And there have been a couple times where they had been taped matches for the Forgotten Son. I even believe they cut a promo after facing off against a team because they were teasing being part of the this year's Dusty Road Tag Team Classic. Of course, that did not happen, and they just got swept to the wayside for whatever reason, maybe better storyline talking by Triple H in NXT, but they finally did make their NXT debut. They took on the Street Profits this week in a pretty decent match. I was like, wow, they're actually guys going off hot from the start. They're not just going to go off and face jobbers, which is fine. We don't need to see 20 million jobber matches for a new team-ish for them to get over. Give us teams like the Street Profits or the Mighty or some other team. Speaking of the Mighty, they did get involved in the end of the match, but we'll talk about that later on. What else happened here tonight? Cassius Ohno also was in a match, and this dude has a new attitude to him. He did take on Kona Reeves. This was the first match of the night. It's so refreshing about NXT before we get into these matches that anybody who is anybody probably watched All In this past Saturday. And the fact that that was great wrestling. It wasn't a perfect show. There were great matches, from the Fatal 4-Way for the women to the NWA World Heavyweight Title match. In my opinion, was a great match. Kazuchika Okada versus Marty Scurll. Pentagon Jr. versus Kenny Omega, and Christopher Daniels versus Steve Amell. Those were some great matches. Then we get to Raw, and it was terrible. SmackDown was a little better, but we have to wait till Wednesday to get good wrestling television for WWE. And when we get to the main event, it will show you how much I love wrestling. Why in a match like Johnny Gargano versus Velveteen Dream gives you that, if you love wrestling, gives you that feeling of somebody that loves wrestling in NXT. But Cassius Ohno took on Kona Reeves, who had his first television loss by facing E3 a couple weeks ago. Ohno with a 3-quarter Nelson on Reeves. Reeves puts him in the corner and tells him to get him off of him. Ohno, just from the start, from his entrance, just looked like he was in a foul mood from the start. Reeves eats a slap from Ohno, who's now playing no games. Ohno grabs Reeves, lays him out on the mat, and just drops a knee. Ohno with this mean streak of his is actually great for his character, and he explains why after the match why he has got this mean streak. Ohno with the mean streak of his, back elbow by Reeves, double axe handle off the top rope for a 2 count. I don't know what I typed there, but the Hawaiian locked into the rolling elbow for a 3 count, and Cassius Ohno is your winner. So, nice short little match between the two. Cassius Ohno does pick up the victory. Post-match, Ohno says he came back to NXT. There was some buzz about him until there wasn't. Yes, Ohno became an afterthought. I get it now. There's always going to be somebody new, someone fresh. It's whoever the next guy is with buzz. Ohno isn't going anywhere. He's going to be right here. I will be the first to welcome you and knock you to the back of the line. So, is this a heel turn for Cassius Ohno? Maybe. Let's see what he does against Keith Lee or Donovan Dijak, whatever his name is now, and these new guys coming in. Like, could you imagine Cassius Ohno versus a Matt Riddle? That should be too, because I'm sure we'll get that match. Forgotten Sons versus the Street Profits. This was a pretty good match here. Blake starts off with Ford, but Cutler and Dawkins eventually do tag in. Dawkins sends the Sun City outside. Ford takes a sip of whatever his cup has in it. There's a nice little battle cry scream, and this Tope con Hilo to the outside. Ford on Cutler, who hits a few forearms on Ford because Ford has him in like a wrist lock. He's trying to forearm him to get him off of him so he can tag in Wesley Blake. Blake does eventually tag in, who nails a powerful, nasty looking clothesline. Springboard knee drop for a 2 count. Double team by the Suns, which I missed whatever they were doing, for a 2 count. Neck breaker for another 2 by Cutler. Blake tags in and hits a leg drop on the apron for another 2. Dawkins finally gets a tag in and goes to town on the Suns. Bulldog by Dawkins goes for the spinning splash, hits it, tags in Ford, but Dawkins is pulled to the outside when they look like they were going for the finisher. And he gets tossed into steel steps, and then a penalty kick by Ford to Cutler, who then flips back inside. DDT on Blake. Looks like he goes for a pin, but 2 masked men come in and steal the cup from the Street Profits, but Montez Ford rips off one of the masks. I can't remember which one of the Mighty it was, but Jackson Riker from behind lays out Ford, who gets thrown back into the ring. They had I think it was Steve Cutler had him look like the Scorpion Death Drop pose in the corner, and Wesley Blake off the top rope for it with a stomp to Montez Ford for the 3 count, and your winners are the Forgotten Sons, who finally get started on NXT. We go to the back, and another tag team is Heavy Machinery, who, for whatever reason, Tucker Knight, not Tucker Knight, Dozovich is sitting there. He's like getting like overheated. He needs a bottle of water. They tell William Regal the only thing that they saw was Tommaso Ciampa was in the bushes near Black's body, so they are pretty much pointing the finger at Tommaso Ciampa. They show us last week's main event and what happened, John and Ricochet, and then what happened afterwards, where they're blaming each other, and then they do make it official that there will be a champion versus champion with both titles on the line. That is going to be a crazy match, as I've already stated. Kairi Sane comes out with a treasure chest and opens it up with the NXT Women's Championship in it, with coins as well. Of course, they were probably chocolate coins. She grabs a handful and just starts tossing them to the crowd. Lucky dogs. She goes up against Trish Adora. This was a short, sweet match. Trish Adora does not get really any offense. Insane elbow for the 3 count, and your winner is Kairi Sane. Post-match, Kairi is celebrating until Shayna Baszler comes out, grabs a couple coins, just drops them back down, and then tosses the chest to the floor. Says, enjoy this while you can, because reality will hit you like a... You put some pirate reference in there after I invoke my rematch clause, but tonight, let's see if this pirate can swim. Baszler and Shane start brawling until Baszler hits a nasty clothesline, but Shane gets back up with this evil, I'm going to kill you look on her face, and just starts slapping the hell out of Baszler, and then it hits the interceptor, sending Baszler outside the ring as she stands tall. So, Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler is going to happen. Will it be match at Evolution? We do not know. More than likely, it would make sense to have Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane at Evolution, and that would be Shayna Baszler's final match as part of NXT, as the rumor going around is at Survivor Series. It will be Shayna Baszler, Jessamine Duke, Ramona Shafir, and Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, and Bayley in a 4-horsewoman versus 4-horsewoman match. So, yeah, that will be talked about last week. We hear from Tommaso Ciampa, who says, why has it been that you haven't seen me since NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4? Why has the crowd not seen me? Well, because I am not. There is no #1 contender for my title. And I am sick of hearing your opinions. I don't want to be the voice of the voiceless. I have no interest in leading the sheep. I am the top of the food chain. I know there are a few of you who listen to what I say and follow the NXT champion. So a nice message from Tommaso Ciampa. Then in the back, with William Regal again, we have Sullivan, who says he was intending on I am medically cleared, which he has been from the start. It was that entire broken jaw thing was just a storyline. But says his intention was to find Alister Black and, exact some revenge for breaking my jaw, without saying that. And says he was looking for Alister Black, but he heard him scream violently. And by the time he got there, Alister Black was already laid out. If it was me, you would have seen me standing over Alister Black, and he would be out a lot longer than he is right now. Just ask EC3, who is not medically cleared. And next week, it will be Lars Sullivan versus Royal Mendoza. That's just going to be as bad as you think it's going to get. Then we get the Johnny Gargano Velveteen match. This is the match of the week for WWE, if you want to look at it. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Mae Young Classic, don't matter. I will have a Mae Young Classic coming for you tomorrow. I will have the first set of tapings that I'll review tomorrow, so I'm not like doubling videos on the same day. Reem is out he has his arm taped up, and I think something's wrong, but if you look at it, he has a circle with a frown on it instead of the Johnny Gargano logo. He's mocking that. His shirt is a Johnny Wrestling shirt, but with white tape over the wrestling, and in black marker it says failure. So it's Johnny Failure, playing mind game. He takes the shirt off and tosses it to Gargano before the match. Dream with the early edge, forearm by Gargano rocks Dream. Pinlock by Gargano, tries to fight out, but eventually gets to the rope. Another forearm by Gargano to Dream, puts him in the corner, talks some trash, and he stomps a mud hole into Dream. Baseball slide by Gargano, both men to the outside. Gargano with a couple chops to Dream, talking trash some more, and then another chop. Dream hangs Gargano out to dry onto the top rope so he can get some momentum himself. Mud hole, Dream then stomps a mud hole into Gargano. This match was just freaking great. Like I said, this match, before we continue on, this match should be on an NXT TakeOver, in my opinion. This was that good of a match. But Johnny Gargano versus, and I would love to see, if Gargano wins the NXT Championship, I would love to see Johnny Gargano versus not Alister Black, but Velveteen Dream for the NXT Championship at TakeOver, whatever, next year. But Dream all over Black. Over the back of Gargano, working on that back for the remainder of this match. It became a focal point for the Velveteen. But Gargano with some chops to Dream's chest. Gargano is thrown into the corner Ric Flair style, but he hits hard. Absolutely hard, and putting more damage onto that back. Neck breaker to Gargano for a 2 count. Dream starts stomping on Gargano some more. Gargano's in the corner, laying his chest on the turnbuckle, on the bottom turnbuckle, as Velveteen hits a Bronco Buster. Dream then tosses Gargano, picks him up and just slams into the mat hard. Kick to the head of Gargano for a 2 count, then a chin lock on Gargano. Dream applies a sleeper hold, and then Gargano gets out, and both men start trading shots in the corner. Gargano catches Dream, who goes for the twisting DDT, but Gargano blocks that and hits a spinning elbow drop. Hurricane Rana out of the corner, then a drop kick sends Dream to the outside. Gargano goes for the splash, like the springboard over splash, but Dream gets back in the ring. Gargano lands on the apron and hits the slingshot DDT. The slingshot spear, not DDT, I got that wrong. Slingshot spear for a 2 count. Chops by Gargano. After that, Dream tossed to the apron. Dream nails a forearm to Gargano. Looks to get up, but Gargano hops to the apron and nails a super kick, sending him to the floor. Cannonball by Gargano to on the outside, and Gargano sends Dream back inside. The only chance from the crowd for both men. Running forearm by Gargano, rolling kick missed, and a famouser by Dream for a 2 count. Nice transition right there. He goes for the rolling kick. Dream moves out of the way. You know, that rolling around kick to the face. Dream moves out of the way and hits a famouser. Beautiful transition. Dream rolls Gargano and looks for a Dream Valley driver, but Gargano rolls him up for a 2 count. Both men trade big shots, and I mean heavy hitters. Both men with a pin attempt for a 2 count. Gargano looks to go up, but stops him on the apron. Trading shots on the apron. Dream Valley driver on the apron gets blocked, and Gargano looks to go into a suplex position, not a suplex, but a powerbomb position, and he tweaks his knee. And he starts, limping over towards to the stairs to try and get back in the ring, and he gets shoved into the steel with his knee hitting the steel. Twisting DDT for a 2 count. Dream then starts working and beating the living hell out of Gargano's leg. Just beats him down. Dream pulls down the kick pad and is wrecking Gargano's right leg. Step up enziguri to Dream, but Dream hits a kick. Dream goes for the elbow on the apron, but misses and gets hit with a Tupe Suicida by Gargano, who puts in the Gargano escape. And Gargano, you can just tell, at this point, you can just tell the demeanor changes. He doesn't think he's wrestling Velveteen, or he feels like he's wrestling Tommaso Ciampa. You can just tell that he has that I'm going to take you and I'm going to rip your arms apart mentality into him. Gargano won't let go, but eventually he realizes that the count's going to, if he holds on, he's going to, be double counted out. So he gets back in the ring. Velveteen Dream barely beats the 10 count. Gargano looks at him and he is just beside himself that this guy just got back in the ring. He grabs him, gets him up for the draping DDT, but Dream has his arm on the top rope holding. So what does Gargano do? Gargano gets set up and hits him with a super kick. hanging him while he's hanging on the rope. Then he takes Dream and hangs him on the apron and looks like he's about to hit a draping DDT. The referee and the crowd are telling him not to do it. There's some probably saying yes, yes, yes. But eventually he just tosses him back into the ring. There's a fan with a Johnny Wrestling shirt and a Johnny wrestling sign. He goes over and like says something to the fan, gets back into the ring, is in the corner, and he's just beside himself. Dream starts calling him a failure. You're a failure. Gargano pulls the knee pad down and just with venom in his eyes goes to hit Dream with the running knee. Dream pops up. Dream Valley Driver 1, 2, 3, and Velveteen Dream beats Johnny Gargano in a NXT takeover worthy match. Gargano again caused his own demise because he just let the anger that he still has in him for Tommaso Ciampa consume him, and he just let this anger consume him. So after the match, we see Gargano in the ring as fans start with Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Failure chants. Gargano sits on the apron for a minute as Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Failure, back and forth continues. He looks a little distraught. He looks over to that same kid, so apparently that must be somebody like in his family or something. I'm just thinking it's probably like his cousin or something, or like somebody in his family because he looks over at that kid again, stands up, looks up at the ramp, and instead of going back up the ramp, walks over to the opening in the barricade, past where you would see like somebody trying to leave would go, and it's like past the announce desk, and all you hear from the crowd is na 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 na, hey hey hey, goodbye, as he's walking away, and he says something that I didn't catch on audio, and walks away as NXT goes silent. What a great ending to the show. It definitely shows that Johnny Gargano is losing it. Johnny Gargano is not the Johnny Gargano we known before. This is not the Johnny Wrestling of before. He can't get out of his own head. He can't get out of his own head. Still, as he said last week, he has Tommaso Ciampa on the brain. And he can't get him out of his head. So Johnny Gargano again caused his own demise and lost this match because of his obsession with hurting Tommaso Ciampa, even though he was facing the Velveteen. I can't wait to see where they go next week. We do have one match confirmed with Lawrence Sullivan versus Raul Mendoza. Hopefully it's not just complete squash, but it will probably be just squash. As I said, you guys are getting a Mae Young Classic review for the first round. I did see on the thumbnail for the show that Tegan Knox did wrestle in this week's show, so I'm looking forward to her match and all the other matches because I'm pretty sure it's going to be 4 matches. We will have that review for you tomorrow, but make sure to find me on Twitter at The Fronts. Find me on twitch.tv/TheFronts08. Thank you to everybody who has watched Raw and SmackDown and my all-in review, which wasn't many, but thank you guys anyway. I appreciate it. Hopefully we can get those subs up. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the Velveteen versus Johnny Gargano and everything else that happened on NXT, and let me know what you think. What is going to happen next with Johnny Gargano, because he lost because of pretty much his own demon. This obsession with Tommaso Ciampa is a demon too. Is one of his demons now. What is going to happen next with Johnny Gargano? Until tomorrow with the Mae Young Classic, I will see you guys on tomorrow for the Mae Young Classic, Saturday for Unscripted, and then hopefully again Monday for Monday Night Raw review, which of course I'm not holding out any hope because it is Monday Night Raw and it just becomes worse and worse as we go. But that is going to be all. Thank you guys again. My name is The Franz. I will see you guys again tomorrow for the Mae Young Classic Round 1. Taping 1. Until then, I'm getting out of here. You guys have a good one.